In any job, you've got the unwritten rules, and then you've got the official rule book. Today, we're going to break down that official playbook, the one that really shapes your entire journey with the company. Think of this as your roadmap.
So, let's just ask the big question right up front. What really determines your job security? Is it just about performance? Is it who you know? Or is there an actual system in place? Well, it turns out there is a very clear system, and we are going to walk through exactly how it all works. Okay, so here's our game plan. We're going to follow the path you take as an employee. We'll start with the basic rules, then dive into your first 90 days. After that, we'll get into the seniority ladder, break down how layoffs work, and wrap up with something called super seniority.
All right, first up, Section 1, the rules of the game. You can think of this as the foundation that everything else is built on. And these rules, they're for every single person here, no exceptions.
So what are we talking about here? Well, a lot of this is just about being a pro, right? Hitting your goals, following the rules, and respecting the people you work with. But that last one, keeping your contact info current, that's a bigger deal than you might think. Almost all official notices come by email, so you want to make sure you're always in the loop.
And this right here, this quote really gets to the heart of it all. It's not just about what's expected of you, it's what's expected of everyone, including management. It's a two-way street. Respect is a fundamental part of the deal.
Okay, let's talk about those first few months. Section 2, your first 90 days. This is a really unique time, a kind of proving ground, because it operates under a slightly different set of rules.
For these first 90 days, you're what's legally known as an at-will employee. All that really means is that it's a trial period. The company is figuring out if you're a good fit and vice versa. So let's look at how this plays out. On day 1, the clock starts. But the first big change happens on day 30. That's when you gain the right to the grievance process. Then comes the biggest milestone of all, day 90. You cross that finish line, your probation ends, and you officially start building seniority.
And passing probation brings us right into our next big topic, the seniority ladder. This is where your time and service start to translate into some very real benefits and, you guessed it, job security.
So what is seniority? It's super simple, really. It's just a measure of how long you've been working here continuously. And remember, that clock officially starts ticking on day 91, right after your probation.
But why is this such a big deal? Well, because seniority is the key to almost everything important. It decides your vacation eligibility, your shot at permanent job bids, who gets offered overtime, and maybe most importantly, it determines the order of layoffs. The more you have, the more security you have. It's that simple.
Okay, this is a fun one. What happens if you and someone else started on the exact same day? Is it a coin flip? Nope. The system has this wild, super specific tiebreaker. It all comes down to the last 4 digits of your social security number. The lower number wins. It's a totally random, totally fair way to break a tie.
All right, now we're going to get into something that's, a tough topic, but it's so important to understand. Section 4, layoffs. Knowing how the procedure actually works can take a lot of the fear and uncertainty out of a really difficult situation.
What's really interesting here is that the process isn't one size fits all. It actually changes depending on how long the layoff is expected to last. For a short-term thing, less than 30 days, the very first step is to ask for volunteers. But for a longer-term layoff, it's different. It goes straight to layoffs based on seniority, starting with the folks who have been here the shortest amount of time. So let's just quickly recap that short-term process to make it crystal clear. Step 1, the company asks for volunteers. Step 2, those volunteers get priority. It's only if they don't get enough people that they move to Step 3, which is laying off by seniority. And then there's a review after 2 weeks to see where things stand.
And that brings us to our final section, the top of the pyramid, if you will. Who has super seniority? This is the ultimate level of job protection built into the entire system.
So what is this? Super seniority is basically a shield for certain elected union officials. It protects them from layoffs, even if their regular start date would have put them on the list. And there's a really important reason for this. It makes sure that no matter what happens, there's always union representation on the floor to help navigate the situation. Now, this isn't handed out to just anyone. It's very specific. It's reserved for a few key roles: the union chairperson, the stewards, and their alternates. That's it. Okay, so let's zoom out and look at the whole journey. It all starts with that foundation of responsibility and respect, right? Then you go through that 90-day proving ground, your probation. Once you cross that finish line, you start building seniority, and that is your key to benefits and security.
And when times get tough, there's a clear, predictable process to protect you.
So, after all that, what's the main takeaway? This isn't just a dusty old rulebook. It's a roadmap. It's a predictable path for your career here. Now that you know exactly how the system works, the real question is, how are you going to use that knowledge to build your future?